Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And we love to say hello to a few friends. Let me see if I can do that. Okay. As you get your notifications, good morning to everyone. Let's see if I can say hello. I think I can. Hold on. Yeah, I think I can. Who's number one today? Lisa. At least in my book, Lisa, you're number one. Rosalinda from Niagara Falls, and so is Andrea from Niagara Falls. Kevin from Oshawa, right at the top, Kev. Lynn, Amber, Nativity. Amber's from New Jersey, Nativity. And Brahim, there's my friend. Brahim had no cancer diagnosis after his biopsy. Good for you, Brahim. We were praying for you. A dear friend to this program. We love you dearly. Natalie, Rosa, Moriel, Bruno, Nick from our staff, Madeleine from Kippawa, Quebec, Thea, Patricia from Florida. How is you? Wanda, Ridgeway, Beverly, good morning. From Fredericton, Roxanne, Edmonton, Judy, New Brunswick, Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Linda, oh, those Lindas, from New Brunswick, Elaine, St. John's, Newfoundland, Marla, Oregon, how are you? Patricia, nice to have you on. Rose from Brampton, nice to have you on too. Francis, another Patricia from Calgary. Janice, Rhoda, Lance Olu Labrador. How are you, Rhoda? Diane from Thunder Bay, Marl from Ottawa, Carol from Wasaga, Kathy, Port Perry, Gail, how are you? From Mount Pearl, Newfoundland, Dave, Lisa Marie, Lee, sunny Sudbury. Where's that? Where's Sudbury? Yeah, my hometown. And Francis from Vaughan, Adrian, Helga, and Sherry, Cindy, Kristen, Saskatchewan, Carrie, there she is, from Nebraska, Vince, Beverly, Mary, Norma, Luella, West Tennessee, Gail, Saskatchewan, Kristen, saying hello to Cindy. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming on. I know I miss you. I miss so many when I do the scroll, but I love you, and I hope you love me anyways. Thanks for coming on. We thank you for your faithfulness. We thank you that you watch us daily, okay? Thanks for coming on, guys. We love you. Hey, I'm going to answer one more question for you. I got 1, 2, 3, holy moly, probably about at least 10 studies, okay, that I flagged. So are we going to get to all of them today? I doubt it, but it's sort of news, health news, behind the news. So that's what I'm going to bring you. Some new stuff that's very interesting. But Gail asked a question about live blood cell analysis. Now, I don't know how many of my audience has ever had a live blood cell analysis done, okay? I recommend it. I taught, okay, practitioners how to use live blood cell, okay? And so, do I like it? Yes. I like it because it's a tool in a toolbox. It's not everything. So I always try to teach this about live blood cell analysis, okay? I always try to teach this. One, it's a tool. It's not everything. You can't see everything in live cell analysis, okay? And I'd be very careful, and I used to say this to practitioners, very careful to think you see everything in that live cell analysis, because you don't, okay? What I taught is it's a tool, okay? I used to teach practitioners, and I used to show it is a wonderful tool for visual, because people, they've never seen their blood. I mean, they see a little drop of red blood, or if they get blood taken out of their arm, you know, they know their blood is red. That's about it. Okay? That's about it. They've never seen their red blood cells. They've never seen their white blood cells. They've seen numbers because you do a test, a traditional CBC or whatever, and they give you numbers. And to the layperson, generally, those numbers mean nothing. Okay? But when you look at live blood, you get a visual. I used to love the reaction of people, patients, when they saw their blood live. Red blood cells floating around and white blood cells. And often I would call in my whole staff on blood. Why? Because at times we saw the white blood cell attacking a bacteria, chasing it around the blood. You can actually Google that and watch that, okay? But I saw it thousands and thousands of times, and I said, I used to do illustrations. So I said, well, look, see that white blood cell? Look what it's doing. You know, this is magnified thousands of times. It is so microscopic, but we know just by looking at your blood that your immune system is working the way it should. When I saw dormant white blood cells, they were there, the numbers were there, but they weren't moving. White blood cells, especially your T cells and your T cells, they get activated by vitamin D. And they're active when you're not eating sugar, because sugar puts a white blood cell into a siesta. It puts it to sleep. That's been proven, by the way. So I used to love showing patients, look, I said, look at your immune system. If you don't think there's a God, I don't know what to say for you. Like this just happens by chance, your immune system? Are you kidding me? Anyway, and then I would show them red blood cells. And a lot of times the numbers were good, but they would have very large red blood cells. I said, well, that's a form of anemia. Okay, again, without traditional blood tests, just looking at stuff live. And the other thing I did, which was very important for practitioners, okay, you have to do a live blood test when you're fasting. You got to have at least 4 or 5, better 6, 8 hours of not eating, and then do the test. Why is that? Because when you're looking at live blood, if you see undigested fat in the bloodstream on a fast, you know that person has sluggish digestion. Usually the stomach is not working properly. It wasn't breaking down with the enzymes needed. Plus, I teach you guys this all the time. you need a very, very, very acidic stomach. You do a live blood test, a live blood cell test when you're fasting, you can get a good look on how your digestion is working. The other thing that you could see in live blood was yeast or fungus, candida. Doctors, candida, I remember this, they're probably a little bit better today, but in my practice days, I used to tell my, I'm going to give you a biblical illustration for a second, okay? Just because it makes me laugh, okay? If you read your Bible, you'll see that Jesus often said after a miracle, he said, now don't go tell anyone. Of course, they went and did it, okay? I used to tell my patient, now don't go tell your doctor you got yeast. They'll go crazy. Yeast. Yeah, who told you you got yeast? Yeah, if you ever had yeast in your blood, you would die. So I used to say, don't tell them. You're just waving a red flag in their face. You can talk to a doctor about bacteria. You can talk to a doctor, most doctors. You can talk to them about viruses, but don't talk to them about fungus. It's too rare for them, so they don't get it. Anyway, why did I get into that? Okay. So, when you get your results from live blood cell testing, okay, you got to remember some of the parameters I just told you about. Like, it's not everything. Oh, you got liver problems. What? How do you know that? Well, my practitioner told me from live blood cell. No. I can tell you if you got liver problems by looking at your traditional blood work. I can tell you if the Costco parking lot, your liver, is full of fat. How do I know that? Well, give me your traditional blood test. And I teach you that in my book, Sun, Steak, and Steel. I used to teach practitioners. Get traditional blood work, and here's how to interpret it. You don't have to know everything, but you should know this. You should know about triglyceride. You should know about HDL. You should know about ferritin. You should know those numbers. Okay? You should look at, I taught them how to look at B12 properly, how to look at vitamin D, whether it's optimized or not. Okay, properly. Because you can take, there's a lot of good stuff in traditional blood tests. And like I said, Gail, live blood test, okay? I like it. I did it for years. I taught it. But you gotta it's a tool in your toolbox, okay? So I always caution people, like, well, I might be having cancer. Look, you might have a lot of free radical damage. You could look at that. Red blood cells that were damaged, oxidative damage. You could look at stuff like that. But anyway, okay, I think I got everything I wanted to talk about in terms of answering that question, okay, from Gail. I don't even know if I got to I think I did. I sort of got a mishmash because we did 3 Q&As. And this morning, 4 Q&As in a row. Because the first thing I'm doing is answering a question because I want to answer your questions, guys. Send me your questions. I try and answer all of them. I really do. Sometimes I miss because I'm a senior. I pull out that card every day. I love that card, by the way. I just pull it out. I'm a senior. And people are very forgiving because I'm a senior. I forgot. Okay. Why do you crave? Okay. Why do you crave? Okay. And this is one of the things that we teach people in our reset. Okay. So the 30-day reset, it really, really helps for a lot of reasons. I mean, you name it, it helps. Okay. So when you get off the carbs and the sugars, one of the things that makes a person crave, okay, if you're eating low density fuel, okay, low density fuel, right? Remember, my goal is you and me too, change fuels. So go from heavy carbs to heavy fat and protein, okay? The way God designed your body for. Heavy fat and protein, okay? Fat don't make you fat. Fat don't give you cholesterol, except good cholesterol, and there's no bad, okay? Triglycerides are bad. They're made by sugars and crappy carbohydrates, okay? Change fuels. Why do you crave? Well, what goes up must come down. So the average North America, they live on carbohydrates. They live on them, okay? And I'm not even talking about fruits and vegetables. I'm talking about processed foods, breads and noodles and pasta and cereals and too much rice and stuff like that, donuts, muffins, bagels, okay? They live on that. And processed foods, what happens? You need a boatload of insulin. What does insulin do? Well, insulin is the traffic cop that takes, remember, your carbs are just sugar molecules, okay? So when you eat a piece of bread, it's just sugar molecules holding hands. You need a lot of insulin for that, okay? Insulin floods your blood and telling your cells, open up. We got sugar a-coming, okay? I got to do something. I can't let sugar stay in your bloodstream. So insulin pours in and it takes the sugar out. Out. Go park there. Go park in the muscles. Go park in the liver. Go parking. You get out of the no parking zone, okay? And then, now your sugar's gone down. You have a donut, got 4 or 5 teaspoons of sugar in it. You take a muffin and store-bought, got about 8 teaspoons of sugar in it. And, Dr. Martin, it's got fiber. Yeah, it's got a lot of sugar. Is what it's got. So you need a lot of insulin. You need a lot of insulin. Sugar comes out of the blood. Your sugar went up, and now your sugar went down. And what goes up must come down. Now you got cravings. So even after a meal, I gotta have something sweet. Right? That's what happened. And your body gets used to that. And when you get on the reset, sometimes in the first week, and sometimes for a couple of weeks, you get cravings. Well, your body was used to that surge of insulin. Now it's not used to it anymore. And your body goes, I used to like that though. I need that sugar. Folks, bear with the process, okay? There's a process. There is a meaning to my madness. When I used to tell patients that, you know what I used to say to them? I grabbed their little face and I'd say, trust me. Trust me. I didn't say the reset is easy. It's not easy. It's simple. Eat eggs, meat, and cheese. Well, what do I do with butter, Doc? Well, butter up your eggs. Butter up your steak. Use a pound of butter if you want. Okay? Because they said, well, I can't use butter if I don't have toast. Sure you can. Okay, anyway. Trust the process. Cravings will go away. You have to trust the process of the reset. I just can't tell you, in the world in which you live, how important this nutritional protocol is. Get your carbs down, up your protein and fat, eat eggs, meat, and cheese. It fixes insulin resistance, which is a huge, huge problem today. Okay? Okay. Now, somebody asked a question, okay, in my Q&A, and I looked this up because I looked this up a long time ago, but I forgot about it. I didn't know exactly what the numbers were, okay? What's the difference, Dr. Martin, between whole milk, okay, the cow in the backyard? Okay, what's the difference? We talked about it yesterday a little bit. The difference in fat, major difference. Well, what does that mean? Okay, so milk in the grocery store generally is fat-free, okay, or 2% or whatever, right? Skimmed. Oh, it's skimmed milk. Well, that's stupid. Ooh. Okay? But I just looked at the nutritional difference between the pasteurized and non-pasteurized, right out of the cow in the backyard. Raw milk, they call it. And good luck trying to find it. But that I would allow you to drink. Remember, okay, what do I always say? Drink water and coffee and leave everything else. And okay, you can have Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie. What a tremendous meal replacement that is. You have a Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie with lots of fat and lots of protein and a few berries. It's a milkshake for kids. And I used to use it in my weight loss clinic. Use a meal replacement. It's not calories. It's fuel. And when your body is burning fat, it's a beautiful thing. Okay? It's a beautiful thing. Now, let me just give you some numbers, okay? I'll give you some numbers because I looked it up. I couldn't remember some of this stuff. Think of fat soluble though, okay? So you have whole milk versus 2% pasteurized milk in the grocery store. White Pepsi, I call it. Okay? Decrease vitamin A, okay, in pasteurized milk. Here's what's hardly in it. Vitamin A, down 35%. What do you guys know about vitamin A? What do you know about vitamin A? What do I talk about in vitamin A? Why it's so important? Because it's your invisible mask. I still see people wearing masks. it gives me a migraine. Because they don't work. Oh. If they only worked, they don't work against a virus. I talk about live blood. You couldn't see a virus if your life depended on it. Okay? You need an electron microscope, and even then, you can't see a virus. You can barely see it. Are you kidding me? Anyway, but the real mask, God is giving you when you have vitamin A, because it covers your eyes. This is where viruses come in. You touch your eyes. I used to tell people during COVID, they're wearing their mask. I said, did you touch your eyes today? Yeah. My eyes, I rubbed them. Well, there's a gate. Viruses come in through here. They come in through here. They come in through here. It's so important to have a good immune system, isn't it? The invisible mask, vitamin A. Well, when you drink milk, store-bought, it's hardly got any left, vitamin A. Why do I talk about eggs, meat, and cheese all the time? Cheese got a lot of vitamin A. You can eat a steak, you got vitamin A. Isn't that beautiful? Vitamin A. I love vitamin A. I don't tell you to take it as a supplement as much as I tell you to eat it. But you're not going to get it in store-bought milk. Okay? Vitamin C even, ascorbic acid. Down about 77% in pasteurized milk. See, the pasteurization, one of the things that it heats up that milk to 1200 degrees. It kills all the enzymes. And by the way, this is a big issue, okay? This is a big issue, guys. And that's why so many people have trouble with dairy. It's amazing to me. I used to do this in my office all the time. Could they go in, Doc, you're talking about eating dairy. I don't do well with dairy. Okay, and again, I said this yesterday. The problem's not dairy. Wow, a little bit. Let me rephrase it. I said the problem is you. Because it's you that's not digesting. But I will give them this. When you're having pasteurized, they kill all the enzymes. All the enzymes are destroyed. That's a big problem. And that's one of the big issues, because your enzymes, they break down the lactose. You know, when the people have lactose intolerant. Yeah, I get it. But it's because the food has been denatured. And yeah, and you got problems too. You got your microbiome. You got leaky gut, and that's, is a big factor in you not breaking down certain foods. Okay? You go to the grocery store, they got scans, they got the, right? You use a scanner, you scan now you can hardly get somebody working at a grocery store. You got to go and use the self-checkout. Well, what does it do? It scans everything. Okay? And your body has a scanner. Okay? And it's a beautiful thing. Something comes into your gut and your body scans it. This is a friend. Steak, it's a friend. Okay? You're scanning it. A lot of times, your scanner gets disrupted. It doesn't recognize something that should be harmless. Like, I know people that can't have eggs. Well, the egg isn't the problem. It's you. It's your scanner. That's autoimmune in a way, because it's not scanning that food properly. It's one of the things that when we study the microbiome, we learn so much, Because the microbiome, we know nothing about the microbiome. Go back into my days of being in school. I was so inquisitive. I'm a why guy. Why? Why? Okay? What do we know about the gut? Not much. We talked about digestion. We talked about H. pylori. We talked about bacteria. We didn't know much about the microbiome. Okay? We didn't know much about it. But oh man, the studies now on the microbiome, your bacteria, they communicate with each other. And your scanner is there. You know, when I was in school, okay, as a kid, can I say this? I never, okay? I hate to use the word never because there might be one exception. I never saw, when I was a kid, okay, as my grandchildren say, in the days of Noah, Grandpa, okay? No, in the 1950s when I was a kid, okay? Born in 1952, okay? I never saw one peanut allergy. If I couldn't have brought peanut butter to school, you know, but today, we got peanut allergies. What happened? It's the scanners. It's in the microbiome. We have dysbiosis. And that's, you know, it's internal. And it can kill people. It's amazing to me. I never saw it. I'm trying to think, did I ever see a puffer? Did anybody have, I'm sure there was kids that had asthma, but one out of a gazillion? Like today, what happened? Why do we have so much asthma? It's the microbiome. It's the microbiome has changed. Okay, anyway. Iron down, you guys, in case you're wondering where I'm going, this is talking about the difference between raw and pasteurized milk. Iron, heme iron, down 66%. No zinc, very little, 70% reduction. You guys know why I love steak, right? And I love dairy. Don't ditch dairy. Somebody was saying online yesterday, let's ditch dairy. Don't ditch it. Switch it. Don't ditch it. Switch it. Okay, so good for you. Zinc down 70%. Zinc so good for your immune system. It is so important, along with your vitamin A and vitamin D. What do you think vitamin D? They have to fortify milk, really, because there's no vitamin D left. And you guys know what I think about vitamin D and zinc. I love zinc. That's why it's another reason I love steak. Zinc. Zinc's not in the plant kingdom. It's not, you know, you got enough in the plants for mice, not for you. Okay? The whey protein is denatured. Okay? Whey, dairy. Okay? A lot of people have trouble with it because it's denatured. Pasteurization will do it to it. Again. And guys, let's just remember this. You're not getting away from pasteurization. You're not going to get away from it unless you're a farmer and you got a cow in your backyard. You're not going to get away from it because you can't get it in the grocery stores unless it's been pasteurized. Okay? Anywho, I thought I would bring that. Oh, gee, I didn't even get to, I think I got 10 other things. I got so many pages here. Okay. Let me just finish with this one because I think I posted it. Hold on, let me see if I can see it. Where was I? I posted this morning on our private Facebook group. Let me just see if I can find it. Private Facebook group. Groups. And Martin Clinic. Are you a member of the private Facebook group? I posted this, and let me see. Who's that guy? Oh, it's me. Okay. About Japanese, okay? Did you guys see this? Here it is. Japanese, one of the healthiest populations in the world. Why? Fish. They eat a lot of fish. Okay. And their red meat consumption over the last 50 years, okay, has quadrupled. There, because people have asked me about the blue zone, okay? In California, the blue zone, and they're all vegetarians or vegans. They don't eat any meat, and they're the healthiest. No, they're not. No, they're not. Not even close. Japanese, very, very healthy. Hong Kong, I've been there. Heavy meat eaters. Okay? Heavy meat eaters. Healthiest populations. Japan, Hong Kong. Okay? Can't be the environment because they live on top of each other in Hong Kong. But they eat right. They eat right. Okay? Their consumption has quadrupled of red meat. Boy, they got smart in Japan. They love their steak. Hallelujah. Good for you guys. Sun, steak, steel. Okay? Sun, steak, steel. Okay, guys. What's Friday? Q&A. Q&A. Now, tomorrow, I plan on doing an afternoon session at 4 o'clock. Okay? 4 Eastern. Okay? Tomorrow. Okay? I'll remind you. 4 Eastern tomorrow. Okay? Afternoon session. Okay, guys. We love you. We'll talk to you soon.